right, here we go with the review of The View. All right, we're doing something different this time. Now I'm going to watch it, and then I'm going to attempt to read my notes, and then we'll talk about what happened on the show.
We'll work through this.
We'll work through
a lot of politics.
Lenore does really good notes, and I'm like, look. Let's just do some bullet points, do something like this.
But I like to know what I'm talking about.
Right. It's mostly about what we think, though. So
I
that's
don't even know what to think about.
Well,
what I don't know.
Let's go. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. So they started off.
People can't get their view on something they don't know. I guess they have.
Thank you.
Something
People
they
get
know
their view all the time.
They gonna get their opinion.
Thank you. So
opinion.
why can't we be any different?
I'm gonna give my opinion on how that doctor should operate.
And
you have no clue about surgery or nothing.
Okay, here we go. So why should we be different than the rest of the world? Okay,
that's true.
So they talked about they talked about Brittany Griner, right? And Paul is the other guy. It's the other guy that's there.
There's two of them there.
There's two of them. Paul is the other guy.
Yes,
okay, because everybody forgets about him. They keep talking about Brittany, and his family is probably like, can y'all talk about him too?
Yes, he's there too.
So they still talk about this prison swap thing.
Yeah.
And apparently the person who they want to prison swap with is this guy who's like the ultimate criminal. Mm-hmm. He's sabotaged and he's done things against America, weapons.
He's not, there's some worse people than him.
Right.
I mean, not to justify for what he's done.
Right,
he's not wrong, but he's served 15 years of his 25-year term.
Okay. The bottom line is, they got a prison swap. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. That's the only thing. It's two Americans.
Do we care that this man is loose? Well, he may be acting crazy again.
It's two Americans. Put it this way:
Putin is acting crazy.
You know what I would do to him? This is what I would do,
what?
and I wouldn't tell anybody. I'll put some chip in him. That's what I would do.
How are they gonna do that? He would have to know.
He won't know
unless they put him to sleep.
Put him to sleep. He fall, hit his head. They put him to sleep,
and they follow him everywhere he goes.
Put something in there.
They would know about that chip inside of him.
No,
it wouldn't detect.
No, they put something in him that you can't detect. Only we know.
Doing TV stuff.
That's
movies.
If y'all don't think this stuff is happening right now, some kind of chip or something on him.
What movie did you see that you got that idea? Or
a
chip inside of him, and we follow him everywhere he goes.
Or brainwash him. Like go in there and do that thing with a hip.
I don't think that has worked. Apparently not. If they may have tried.
Put it this. All I'm saying is
waterboard him.
All I'm saying is before you let him go, tag him in some kind of way.
Like he's a deer out.
Like he's a deer. Like you that you brought a whale in and you tag him and then you send him back out in the wild. None of the other animals in the sea know what's going on. They don't know they're being tracked.
They can't be surprised though if they let him go.
Exactly.
And he gets with Putin
and don't be surprised if they let Brittany go and the other guy go if something ain't tagged in them. I ain't trying to be mean or nothing, but if I was Putin, I would tag her.
Well, what would he tag her for?
I don't know. Just another.
We all know this for sure. She ain't playing with that team no more.
Ain't going back to wrestling. I don't know how many people on
that one. We know she's gonna come off the plane. She's gonna kiss the ground, and she's not gonna. Yes. You mentioned the word Russia. She's like Niagara Falls.
And this is the main thing that I think that should happen from this whole thing.
What?
America, remember. Just remember. Mm-hmm. Remember what Putin did. He traded two citizens who did nothing really for a crazy criminal. He is not your friend. He is not your friend.
If Trump
so remember that.
In office, he will be.
That's what I'm saying. Just America, remember. America never remembers anything. Just remember. It's just like if you was in school. The kid that traded you traded your Michael Jordan baseball or even baseball card, basketball card, and he gave you some stale player that nobody ever heard of, and you got gypped. Remember that when it's time to negotiate or
opportunities to.
That's what I would say. I would say remember. Okay. Just like in the movie Fridays when he said I remember. She said I remember that Smokey, and he said remember that. Write it down. Take a letter. I don't give up. All right. So we're doing Smokey from Fridays. Remember.
Okay.
All right. So that was what they talked about there.
The ladies on The View keeps the conversation open and continuing so we won't forget about her.
Exactly.
And of course, like I told you, Sonny always brings up, why was she over there in the first place?
The women don't get paid.
They don't get paid enough.
Can I ask you a question?
Like the NBA. Really? Are you going to get paid as much as LeBron James?
Can I ask you a question?
Really?
And I know this is going to piss off a lot of women in the audience.
It will. It will.
And I agree. You should pay them more if. Do they fill the stands and bring in the people that the NBA basketball players do?
No. Mm-mm. And
That's my only
everybody
question.
who has gone to these WNBA games, because we've gone to a few in Chicago. No. It's
So if
not
the answer
full.
is no, then
even
no.
with our bad playing Bulls.
So the answer, Sonny, and women, because I'm tired of
It'll be the top stars of WNBA.
This is it.
It'll be the top ladies.
Right.
You know, who we've come to know back in the day. That
Yes.
most of them are coaches now.
I'm a black person, and I'm also a woman, obviously. And there's some things I can get behind, because there's some things that's just not fair. I don't care how you slice it. It's not fair. It's not fair for women. It's not fair for people of color, whatever. And then there's some things that's just merit, period. Work on the merit part. That's my opinion. If you want women to get paid what LeBron and them get paid, and I agree. These guys, hold on. These guys don't have to do anything. I agree.
Maybe not equally, but they want to get paid more.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
I understand that there's inequality. The guys don't have to do anything, but just wake up, honestly, to get paid that amount of money. And the women, we got to jump through hurdles, and same as being black in some things.
Yeah.
But you have to show people why you should get paid what you get paid.
Well, the women's soccer team did.
Exactly.
They brought home medals. They brought home
And if
awards,
millions
and everybody
of people,
was like, they watched women.
And if millions of people watched, then you pay them all of that advertising money that they brought in.
Because you know, a lot of it is about advertisement.
Period.
It's about advertisers putting their money into it, and how many people, like they doing on YouTube
Exactly.
now. How many followers do you have?
That's
what
it.
it's all about.
That's it.
Because
Now,
they make money off of you.
I agree.
Having a lot of people follow you.
And I agree. The system is set up for some people. So I get it.
Yeah.
But you gotta work on that. So my thing to Sunny, because she working on women getting paid more.
Yeah.
You gotta work on that merit part. If you want women basketball players to get paid more, you gotta start going to the advertisers, and you gotta start going to the American people or people who watch, and let them know why it's worth it. And that needs to start early, honey. It needs to start when they are little. These little football, they so cute. Little football guys running around when they're in school, and they be running the wrong way. They start early with those teams. Early.
Little league.
It's
and all
from
of
the
that.
time those little boys is little and can barely even put their shoes on. They put in they got a helmet on and basketball in their hand. So the same thing has to be done with girls. You gotta start early, and you gotta start making it where that sport is just as important to them. Because I'm gonna tell you who do get paid, and you ain't gonna like it. Those cheerleading competitions and them dancing competitions.
I know. They get a lot
With
of
women.
money.
Texas cheerleading.
They love those cheerleading competitions. They
And I'm
are
gonna tell you who else get paid.
serious.
Those beauty queens, like Honey Boo Boo.
And I know, like Kim said, it's like unless you are an athlete who's just has some favor, like Muhammad Ali's daughter. You know, as other boxers,
And she don't get paid anywhere near what males.
When her dad
get
got paid, probably not. You know,
So we
understand
understand it. We understand there's equality.
But
We
her
got
name
it.
brought
Yes,
people,
right?
You know, so you know.
But you got to work on that young. You got to start early on making it where it's the people want to watch it and it's beneficial.
Now they know Brittany now.
Okay,
So
exactly.
She come back.
If
home.
anything, Brittany might bring more money to the WNBA.
Yes, because people will go be at that first game that she's playing in. Yeah. It's unfortunate that let's bring her home. We all in agreement with that. But this is boost her name
It's
up.
publicity.
And bringing light to shedding
And
light
that
to the
Putin is a
WNBA.
Poop head.
Yeah, well, we
It's bringing
already knew
that.
that.
And remember that. Remember the baseball trading cards.
head.
Remember that.
Okay.
When she do come. And we traded.
I
We
thought
gave you a Michael Jordan card and you gave us somebody that
no name.
You traded a bad trade. Remember that. Next time Trump, if he wins again, he's over there talking and they chit-chatting and riding horseback with no shirts on like Putin does. Remember that, American people.
Show you with no shirt.
Trying to be sexy.
Oh no!
All right, here we go.
No, he about like 5 feet too.
Yeah. So
Okay.
then they went on to talk about this guy, and you watched it.
The comment he made.
The one he said that his wife, he said, and he was
Do you know who
proposing.
he is, first of all?
No, I didn't even listen.
Oh, okay.
But he was saying he was proposing, whatever. He was saying
And they showed a
that
photo of him and her together.
you are not the most beautiful woman in the world, and you're not the most smartest woman in the
But
world.
he didn't say like you.
Right. No, he was saying it to her. He was saying to
Oh,
her.
I thought he was talking to the people.
No.
That she's not the most beautiful.
Well, yeah.
She's not the most smart.
But I love her.
But I love her.
And she's right for
And-
me.
And some other
Sonny-
comment about that we shouldn't be looking at what did he say? It was-
Outward appearance or something?
yeah, kind
Whatever.
of making it more internal, and that we
Right.
fit together
Don't
regardless
concentrate
of what.
on the out.
Yeah,
And Sonny said she hated him. She was being funny.
I wouldn't
She
marry
didn't-
him if I was you.
I wouldn't marry him. I can't stand that man. I want somebody to lie to me and tell me I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. And Whoopi said, no. I want you to tell me the truth.
Yeah,
Because
I
then
know.
when you wearing tight pants and your big
Big
fat
old
butt
butt
is in
is
there
in 'em.
and he don't tell you, then you going to get mad because he didn't tell you the truth. But you set him up to lie to you for your whole life.
Her and Elisa said. they
Elisa
would
said
want
that.
it, yeah.
And then, what's her name?
Sarah.
kind of agreed.
Said, I agree with Whoopi.
She'll agree with Whoopi. But here's my
That
thing.
was his way of saying.
Guess what my take is?
What was
and
your
then you
take?
tell me what yours is.
Okay,
I kind of have a mixture of both.
I do too.
And let me tell you
I
why.
do too. It almost goes back to when we were making comments about Love and Marriage DC
Uh-huh.
and how Chris talks to Monique.
Yes.
That's Chris's
You gotta
way
walk on
of
eggshells.
communication.
Yes,
that's
yes,
how
yes.
he communicates.
Yes.
And she gets all
yes,
mad about
yes,
it.
yes. And he has to walk on
And he
eggshells
sits
because
there
he
and
don't want
goes,
to piss
"Did
her
I
off.
offend you, baby? What's
Right.
going on?"
But here's what I said about a mixture.
Mm.
I don't mind if you lie to me if it's something we both in on the joke.
Oh,
I know.
what do you mean by that?
I know I'm not the most beautiful woman in the world.
Okay.
So if you tell me, honey, I think you're the most beautiful woman in the world. I think you're the smartest. I think that everything about you is gorgeous. I know, and you know, that's not true. Maybe you feel in love right now, and that's how you feel.
Like it's like you saying
you look
your
at
wife-
the rose-colored glasses.
You saying your girl is average looking. I know my girl is average looking.
But
She
what
ain't
I
all-
don't want you to lie to me about is something that could possibly be true. Just like Whoopi said, don't tell me I look good in those pants and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want you to
They
lie
make
to me
look
about
big,
something like
my
that.
butt's too big to wear them.
But you don't have to say you got the best looking butt in the world. We both know that that's a lie. And I don't mind you saying it because we know it's a lie. So that's my thing. If we both in on the joke, I don't mind.
That's why I said you can go both ways with this.
What do you think?
The one thing I kind of did a cringe is when he talked about the smartness.
He said
talked
she's
about
not the
her
most
intent.
smart, the
Yeah,
smartest. But she's not.
I see where he was going and what Sarah was saying and what Whoopi's pretty much saying. Look, dude, that's how he communicated.
Exactly.
He wasn't being mean. You can kind of tell from what they Whoopi and them, and it was her take on it was he wasn't being malicious,
Right.
Like Chris with Monique.
Yes.
The women at the table, and now there's been times they had a man at that table and they asked him and he said, I don't see nothing wrong with that. And women get mad because men, they didn't see it that way. I only thought the way he said the whole thing about her smartness. We
Yes.
know she's not the smartest.
He
That's
didn't have to
common
say
sense.
it. We say the
The
same
way he said it. It was the way he said it. He said, I know my wife may not be the wisest woman in the world. Maybe the way he said it, he would have said it something like that.
Right.
She could have to agree with that. I'm not the wisest woman
Right.
in the world. But he
don't have to say
he
it.
made it like common sense, like she's not the smartest.
Remember
Like she's
yesterday?
stupid.
Remember yesterday when we did? Y'all can go back and look the review
Okay.
of the Breakfast Club,
Yeah.
and we talked about Will I Am, and he said,
Oh,
"I don't like.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
listen to Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah.
I only listened to Tribe Called Quest and
Yeah.
KRS
And
One.
his reason
I
for
didn't
it.
like Tupac and Biggie. He didn't have to say that. So I think the
and
same
even
with
give reason for
I
it.
think the same with this. You don't have to.
He must have been asked a question. That's what he was. Was he just freely giving
I don't
that
know.
opinion?
But that's
Was he
like somebody
asked?
coming up and saying, "I know my husband's an idiot, but I love him the same."
You know what? And some people do that. They don't do it in front of them, But some people in the midst of a certain crowd or a certain
I
group,
know my husband's an idiot.
or like even if we were married, I know my wife's not slim. She's not. She's fat, or she's whatever.
Yeah, let's give my
You said
friend.
it. Oh my God!
friend,
Yes,
my friend in college.
I
My
love this
friend
story.
in college.
Okay.
She was doing a blind date
Bless
and
her
meeting
heart.
this guy, and they
Bless
was
her
on the
heart.
phone. And she didn't want to meet him. They was gonna meet in the cafeteria. This is college, in the cafeteria, and she didn't want to meet him by herself. So she wanted me to come with her.
Yeah.
So she said she was on the phone talking to him. He said, "Well, what would I know? How would I know it's you? Whatever." She said, "I'll have on a pink shirt and some jeans, and I'll be with my fat friend Kim." And I was there. She was on the phone. I said, "What the hell?"
My fat friend.
I said, "Why did you say that?"
Because you fat.
She said,
My fat friend.
"Why was that bad?" I said, "Why is that bad? You could have just said I'll be with my friend. Why can't I have on a pink shirt and whatever I'm wearing?
She'll be
Why I
wearing-
gotta be the fat friend?"
She'll be wearing a red shirt with some black jeans. No, she said I'll be
with my fat friend Kim. Didn't matter what I had on. He knew he said this girl with fat girl.
there she
That's
is with
it.
that fat girl, she said.
So I took offense.
That's a good example. That's a
She
good.
did not have to say that.
That's funny because that will be a good way for him to know who you are.
But you can still know who I am by saying
That's a
I was.
honeymooners joke. Remember with
You still would know who I am.
How would you know that? You say I just say.
Oh yeah, I just say I'm
my
with
fat friend. My fat. Hey, get a load of
fatso
fatso
over there. That's the old honeymooners.
Honeymooners.
Yeah. And then he said, "How did he know to say that when he came up to me?"
Because
And
it
then,
wasn't the right guy. It was some other guy.
and Norton said, "I guess it fits."
Because he's fat. Get a load of fatso there. So I get it.
No,
Okay.
she didn't have to say that. She laughed and apologized later.
So
You could have said I had on a shirt or whatever color shirt on.
So
He didn't
you
have to say
saying
that.
this guy.
He didn't have to say that. He didn't have to say that.
Now,
But
now
I don't want you to lie to me though.
I would love to hear her reply on that. You think she'll say something?
I don't know.
I don't even know who he is. If he's famous.
So I felt like it didn't come from a bad place. I just
Whoopi
think
and Sarah understood.
I understood it. And again, I don't want you to lie to me if it's something that if it can ultimately hurt me.
Remember
or
Joey
it
saying,
can ultimately,
tell me
yeah,
two
don't tell me
little lies.
No, I do want you to lie to me if we both in on a joke. You can say I'm the most
okay.
beautiful woman in the world.
Okay.
I know I'm not,
If-
but
if
I'd
he
like
knows
you to
you're
say
not,
it.
so-
That's kind of what Sonny and them was saying. Tell
Okay.
me I'm the most beautiful, most special woman, the most beautiful woman in the world. You'll do everything in the world for me, even if we know you lying. It doesn't matter. We both in on a joke.
Yeah.
All right, so they talked
I
about
get
that.
Okay.
Okay. Again, Whoopi said she don't like the lion and all that stuff. Okay. Now let's go on to when they talked about. Did you see the con? They was doing that show, the con.
I
season 2.
started taping, and the first show starts tonight.
Okay.
I thought so. She said the show comes.
Yeah,
start.
on
I want to
ABC.
watch that because they talking about a pastor who ripped his church off $40 million.
Yeah, and all these con deals
And
that people
Sonny
have
was
done.
like, his church?
Mhm.
$40 million. He's a con artist. She does shows on con artists.
Yeah, this show is
This
called.
is a pastor.
It's a season 2. That means it was a whole
is
season
it?
1.
Oh, I missed the old one. Maybe I'll go and however.
So this
we go
is
to look
season
at it.
2. Starts
I like to
tonight
talk about that show.
on ABC. So write that down. You're gonna
Okay,
look
I'm
at that.
taping it. I have it recorded.
If we like it, we'll talk about it.
Okay, a con.
Then they had the White House press secretary. What's her name? Corinne Jean
Yeah, I like
Pierre.
her. Now, I
whatever.
noticed when
Black
she was
girl.
talking, I was laughing because as she was talking to the camera, her eyes kept closing.
Why?
You never noticed that? I was looking at her because when you look at people talking, you're looking at their face, you're looking at their eye contact to the camera. Her eyes
That's
would always,
not good.
Her eyes would always go down,
That's not
and
good.
I don't know if she was reading.
Oh,
down.
maybe she was reading notes. Maybe she was reading
Maybe
notes.
I don't know, or the teleprompter.
Oh,
I don't-
maybe she was
a
reading
prompter.
them.
What do you call it?
Teleprompter. or something?
Teleprompter.
Okay.
But I just noticed that as
I
a
don't like
habit.
that.
So, but other than that, I like her.
So they talked about the president. He's good now. He's
had a speech today, I
he
think.
from this he tested negative for COVID now,
Okay.
so he's good. He's able to come back out or whatever. She talked about how COVID is better now. The Democrats in office is the best of everything. That's why I don't belong to
Independent
any.
party, the best of everything.
The best of
I don't think
everything.
there's never been an independent president.
I don't
And that's
know.
a party too.
Yeah.
Independent. They're independent of both parties. They
Mhm.
take a little of both and make their own party.
Right.
Will we ever see a president from an independent party?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. So they talked about that. They talked about that bill that you was talking about.
What is the name
that
of that?
passed.
You remember? Because I wrote it down.
I wrote it down. Y'all, my handwriting
It's on my
is horrible.
desktop, but I don't feel like opening it because I'll mess this up.
The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022.
Thank you.
They talked about that. And she said how it's going to bring down drug costs and all this other
It's
stuff.
like a healthcare act.
And it's it's some about healthcare and about
There's
other
some major changes to it. They were just happy that Manchin, I guess,
and
he's
something
been like
about
a
the money.
pushback on
It's
things.
going to raise taxes. Joy and then the other new lady that was on there
Yeah,
today, the
they
Republican,
debated,
they was
yeah.
debating, and the lady was saying, the Republican lady was saying it's going to raise taxes, and Joy said only on corporations and people who make like over $400,000 a year.
Right.
And then the other lady, Republican, said, well, corporations, you don't understand that trickles down to employees because then they got to do layoffs and all
Less
kind of
pay
stuff.
and stuff. Yeah.
So just the same
always a
argument.
domino
It's
effect in
always the
anything
same
they
go-
do.
and-
Anything they
and
do.
the same argument between Democrats and Republicans.
But you know
Same
what?
argument.
One of the things, though, that I was listening to, so it's unfortunate that our countries can't get on board with some other countries, and even with the healthcare thing.
Mm-hmm.
We had talked about in one of our shows, when you go out of country, making sure your insurance is how the insurance is over there if you get hurt,
Mm-hmm.
injured. And I was telling you about a person that I had I heard about was injured in Italy, and they were able to being over there for whatever they were over there for as an American. The insurance of that area covered them,
Right.
And I know Joy is always talking about insurance in Europe and other countries. Why can't we have universal health care where it's like everybody is covered? But I think they're a little different as far as they're rich, they're wealthy. They pay into it.
Right.
They don't care. Ours do. Sometimes our rich people are stingy. They don't want to. I understand when you say over a certain amount. If you make over 400,000, $500,000,
Some people wouldn't consider that
we'll be
rich.
saying, I don't mind you taxing me to do the streets and make sure they're clean and
Here's
the
the
highways
problem.
are good. I don't mind you taxing me to help out with everybody in the country getting insured.
Right.
Why are we selfish over here?
Well, here's the reason. I'm gonna give the other side.
Okay.
You're talking about other places when they actually take the money and do the stuff that they're gonna do with it.
Yeah.
If I'm giving you extra money and I'm watching what you do with it and you don't know what you're doing, why would I want to give you more money? Why would I want to
So they
pay
don't
more
trust the
money,
systems
just like
and
the
stuff.
welfare system? Why would I want to give more money into a system, in my opinion, that's broke down? If you drawing welfare, if you taking any kind of money,
from the
in my
government.
opinion, you need to either be showing that you in school or showing something. I'm not awarding you to have more kids.
Right. Because we'll
And that's not saying everybody on welfare, because then if it's something that's an emergency, then it should be a certain time period.
Right, I know.
I'm
each
talking about
state-
generational
and the sad thing
welfare.
is, I'm thinking each state sometimes has different rules with
Yeah.
that. Whoopi has made it clear that she's been a welfare recipient at
Right.
one
We
time
all
in her
have.
life.
We all have.
And that was a stepping
Exactly.
for her. Now you see where she's at now.
Exactly.
She didn't stay there.
Exactly.
She didn't have 10 more kids.
And it's not generational.
Thank you.
My mama was on welfare. I'm on welfare. My grandma was on
I want
welfare.
to see
Nah.
different for me. I want to be able to do
Yes.
things on my own merit.
So,
and not being helped and handicapped with the government.
So if I gave more money as a rich person or
Oh,
whatever,
okay, I see.
if you did more welfare on a more local level, in my opinion, where the people in that actual town or city know kind of what's
They
going
see
on
firsthand. They get closer to it.
Not from a government umbrella standpoint
Okay.
that they just throwing money into something and they have no clue
Well, how much-
of what is going on.
How much of that is up to the state? Because I remember talking to one of my friends who had family in the Michigan state, and theirs was a little different as far as welfare program. They had to go to school. They had to do some kind of trade.
Yeah.
Before they were even given, so much money or a certain amount of money. I don't know their rules per se, but I was like,
That should be every
is that
state.
in every state? That
See?
should be. Make them people go
and
to
that's
school
why I
and
have
make
a
them show
problem.
that they want to make a change in their life
Yes.
to educate themselves or to learn something, and rather than just having doing all the things to try to get the free money to
Right.
keep coming.
And then they talked about how the Democrats are not calling this a recession. It's a recession. Here we go, mixing words again.
Yeah.
Again, both parties. I'm sick of both parties.
Yeah.
Because now you're in power. Democrats are in power, and you don't want to call it what it is.
Yeah.
It's a recession, guys.
If it looks like
and
a
then
duck,
Joy
quacks like
said
a duck.
something that was so stupid.
What?
Because the one lady, the Republican lady, said that it's raising tax or whatever. Whatever it does, it may influence the recession and what's going on. People are already feeling it.
Right.
Joy
With the
said,
gas
yeah, but
prices
it's
and
also
stuff.
going to help the environment. The recession we'll have with us all the time, but the environment may go away. You're an idiot. Let me tell you why, Joy. Nobody cares about the earth being around 20 years from now when I can't feed my child.
And gas in your tank to go to work to feed your child.
Nobody cares, honey.
Or there's a milk shortage.
I know you care, and I know a lot of Democrats care. And I understand, because I care about our planet. But if I'm paying boozy money
Kim.
to go to work every day for gas, I'm not thinking about the earth in about 20, 30 years.
We must remember, and I don't know how many times we need to probably make it known. When you sit at that table, the View, the Talk, the Real, how much money are you ladies taking home?
Thank you.
How much money are your husbands bringing home?
You so
You are so
removed.
disconnected to an average family.
When I watch
with
them-
4 or 5 kids, and their income is under $20,000 a year.
Yes.
And you sit there like, well, the environment is good. Well,
I had to think about that for myself, and I'm not even rich when COVID hit. Because I was sitting here going, well, just stay home. Just stay in. And I didn't think that's for us. I have my own room. I'm good.
Yeah.
I got cable. I got this. I got that. But there were kids at home who were being abused.
Yes.
Who their only way of getting away was to get out.
Go to school.
Or get out, go out and play.
Not virtual.
There were women who were being beat because they had to stay home. Their husbands was at
In
home.
that environment.
And he was always gone the other time. He
Yes.
could go out and the bar
Yes.
and everything, but he can't go anywhere. So now you're the punching bag.
Yes.
And there was also people who live in apartments or in small houses who had kids who didn't have their own room. So they had kids, 8 kids or 5 kids in one
Couldn't
room.
go nowhere.
And you stuck in the house with them. So you gotta think, guys, whatever you say, whatever you do, however you feel,
Yes,
understand that there's a whole country and everybody don't flow like you. Everybody ain't rolling like you.
Yes.
Everybody not living like you.
Yes.
So when you make a stupid statement that says recession will have with us all times, but the earth may not be around, I don't give a crap until
You can enjoy the same thing.
if the earth dies in 20 years if I can't feed my kids now.
You can enjoy the earth because you make a 6-figure salary. Or 5 figure, how many figures? You make a big salary, you can enjoy the earth.
So that
and
was
whatever's
a dumb
left
statement.
on it.
That was a dumb statement.
There's families trying to survive on the earth. Oh,
That
I
was
know.
a dumb
Well, that
statement.
was a privileged statement.
That was a privileged
and a
statement.
lot of reporters, a lot of news people on CNN, Fox,
recession will have with us
ABC.
all the time.
I sit there and I think about them telling the news, and even when situations happen, God forbid, some of them have some experiences in their families, cancer, illnesses, whatever. But when they start talking about financial situations,
Stay away
and
from
stuff,
that.
all of them make over 6 figures.
Thank you.
Telling the news.
Thank you.
So you got to be real careful and
You gotta be
sensitive on
careful.
how you speak the news
Or
and
if
your
you-
opinion.
Or if you a guy that's coming in and you are a woman, you coming in to do the news and you interviewing people on the street and you coming into the neighborhood and you talking about a shooting. If I live with this all the time, you coming in with a helmet on and you all you doing is just asking a question.
and be surprised that somebody is okay with it because they live in it. They breathe this, and you don't understand. I just don't understand.
You got we're here live at on 80 something and such and such. There was a shooting at the gas station. 5 people got shot. That's travesty. Travesty. What do you think about that?
It happened last week.
Girl,
It's the same thing. They probably.
I told them not to go to the gas station.
They weren't listening to me. Shoot, I don't understand why they don't listen to me.
And y'all out home going, I say responses. I told them not to go to the gas station. Yeah, if it's shootings every 5 seconds. Yeah, don't go to gas stations.
So we're numb to other people's
Just
situations
numb.
and stuff. But you're right, Joy was not wise saying that.
That was
She
stupid.
might get some emails on that one because
Well,
they do email them.
recession we will have with you all the time.
Okay.
But the earth is dying.
Okay.
I'm dying because I ain't got no canned food, and you talking about the earth is dying.
I think there's going to be a different kind of recession that's going to hit, and it's going to hit people who do have those incomes.
They asked the White House press secretary about the WNBA trade and all of that, about her being traded, and of course, again, we talked about on the other episode, they're not going to answer that question.
And she
dummy.
even said that we can't give details on what the discussions
Come on,
are. You know,
well, he was on the phone the other day, and we decided that if you do, they're not going to tell you. But you got to ask, I guess, for the idiots that want you to ask.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that was climate change we talked about.
You know what? I wanted to bring an update on. We talked, I think yesterday or the day before, about that one.
I know what you.
That one Republican guy who made the comments about fat women protesting.
pro-choice.
It was on the news. The one lady he was talking about, a young girl, I think she was 19.
Oh, he was talking about a specific person.
Well, he was talking about her specifically later, but he was talking about generally. I think there was some big girls with their shirts on. Hey, do you not know that she took that and used it for to help her cause, raise over I don't know how much money, tagging him.
So he should
in
be
his
happy.
comment.
He helped her raise money.
I'm like, you took lemons and made lemonade.
That's how you got to do it.
I like that. I wish I knew her name. It was in the news the other day, but she was the heavy one that he was specifically talked about.
That was smart.
And she said, okay.
And why do people always go for that as that's your go-to? Yeah, why is that your go-to?
You in abortion, you're protesting pro-choice. No, nobody wants you. You ain't gonna never get pregnant. Why would you need to worry about that?
Why would you go to that?
That was low-hanging fruit,
but why would you assume because somebody's heavy, don't nobody want them?
Yeah.
I get plenty of people.
And he is not an attractive guy, so why would you even crack on anybody's look?
But I'm just saying, why do people automatically go to that? Like because they think because you fat, you don't nobody want you. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of people that want fat
Remember,
people.
he pays for prostitutes. So
thank you. Don't nobody want you with your nasty self.
He has to pay for his sex.
So.
Allegedly, yeah. Okay.
All right. Then they talked about allegedly.
I just thought that was a cute way of taking lemons and making lemonade.
They talked about that Republican lady asked her, the press secretary, about the poll, about the Democrats really pretty much don't want Biden to run again. Yeah, it's a large number of them that
they're
don't.
Thinking that Buttigieg
again
may be.
We talked about the other day.
He's gonna run again though. Biden.
Republicans play chess, Democrats play checkers. Why would you do a poll? Why would you come out publicly, any congressman or governor or senator that's Democrat, and say you don't want Biden when he's actually running? He said he was running.
You just
why would you
just put it out there that
you don't want him? You are a fool because again, y'all play checkers and Republicans play chess. You're an idiot.
You may want
as much as the Republicans think that Trump is a moron, you will not hear them say that as a congressman and as a Republican governor or a senator.
But remember,
unless I'm running against you.
But remember what we said in our other show about fans. Fans can be really evil and mean. So you don't, and then too, their constituents can be not like them.
Thank you.
And that's why they're really tiptoeing and not making any negative comments about
nothing.
Trump, no matter how ignorant he is.
But Democrats are split. They'll split. All I like to say is, they're
emotional. They talking with their emotions. Playing checkers.
And that's why you got Trump, because of y'all.
A chess move is quiet.
You don't want to vote for Hillary.
You don't talk about chess when you move it. When you're doing chess, you don't talk.
You putting Biden in the same category as you did Hillary. I don't really like him. And you're going to get Trump again, because he's going to run again.
Probably.
All right, here we go. Oh, but then the
attorney,
press secretary said, did they say in that same poll that if Biden ran against Trump, the numbers showed that Biden would win?
Yes.
That's what she said in that same poll. Well, I say to you, press secretary, you're an idiot too.
Oh no, don't say that.
Because if you think for 1 minute that if Biden today, I'm not talking about in
If they would've run
2024,
against each other
would
today?
beat Trump, you're a fool.
Well, one of the things that
And you getting paid a lot of money to say stupid stuff
no,
like
that's
that.
for her to say that. She's
I said that. You getting paid money to pay to say that.
Let her support her man,
Right.
whether she believes it
That's
or
why
not.
she got a job.
Whether the check is making her think that or not.
Yes.
But like we said yesterday, the Attorney General said, "I don't care if he is running. We gonna get if you fit everything that's criminal,
Right.
you going down."
Well, let's see.
So go ahead and run with your bad self, with your orange self.
American people are. I don't have no faith. They'll vote for him behind bars.
You know what? Yeah.
They'll ask, can he
Yeah,
still run the
yeah.
country even behind
Well,
bars?
if you're a felon, I mean, if you-
They'll ask, can he run? Can he still
Yeah,
be the president even though he's behind
they
bars?
support him
Can
that
he
big.
pardon himself? They'll be thinking like that.
Okay.
Anybody but Biden. That's what they'll say.
Yeah. that's
We'll
true.
vote for a guy behind bars before. That's what they thinking. But if the Democrats could stop playing checkers and say, we love Biden. Biden's doing this. Biden's doing that. He's not talking about it, but we're going to talk about it. Every time we get on the show or TV or whatever, we're going to talk about all the wonderful things
that's what,
that's being done.
Did you notice that's what Sarah and them was saying?
Thank
on
you.
The View. She was saying that we're not tooting his horn.
Thank
There's
you.
things that he's doing and getting done, but we don't hear about it.
Because they're checker players,
Yes,
Lenore.
you need to say, shout from the mountaintop. Biden just signed the blank act. Shout from the mountaintop. Biden just also agreed
You see
to
why
blah,
I say
blah, blah.
you see why I say they stupid?
Shout from the mountaintop because you know there's an election coming up and you need to build that man's numbers.
And the press
people.
secretary lady said, "Oh, well, that's so far off, 2024."
Does she-
You see what I'm
she
saying?
said that.
They
I was
playing
glad.
checkers, Lenore.
That's when she said that.
You understand now? You
Far
understand?
off, girl. That's 2 years.
Can y'all please tell me this? For the press
They're too
secretary to
comfortable.
say
They're comfortable.
that the election is so far off in 2024,
They're too comfortable.
can y'all please just comment? Y'all agree that the Democrats are playing checkers?
Yes, they need to up their
Chess,
game.
you play ahead.
Yes.
Why would you say
think ahead.
something is 2024 if you are thinking ahead? That's what I'm telling you. They
And
stupid.
2 years is around.
They stupid.
the
They
corner.
stupid. I'm
so when
sorry.
she made that comment, I felt like,
And maybe the word stupid is too strong, but they are just not getting it.
Yeah, I
And
did-
that's why I don't think they're going to
I
win.
did
They don't
catch
get
that.
it.
Now people were surprised when Trump won. Remember?
And Sarah got to say what they doing good. How come the Democrats ain't saying that?
Thank you.
Why you got to think about what they doing?
Yes.
It should be a list coming off your head of everything that they've
And
done.
everybody that watches and listens will know, even if they wasn't dog it out. Fox News will
No,
know. They would
because
have a
they
list.
did this and
Well,
they
he
did
said
that.
they did this, but they really didn't. He said
Exactly.
they did this, but they really did. At least put it on paper.
Thank you.
Speak it in the news media.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm done with them.
We'll see.
All right, we overtime. But anyway, Nathan Lane, he was the last one on there, and then
Okay.
he was the actor that came back, and they asked him about his new show coming out,
No, the show that's been
Murder in the Building. Oh yeah,
That's the second season.
it's on Hulu on
Yeah,
Tuesday.
It's the second or third.
So that was
season.
basically
Has,
it.
what's that young girl in there now? It has
I
a
don't
young. No, you know her. She's,
I probably
she's
do,
a
but I didn't
singer.
see it.
She has dark hair.
Okay.
And Steve Martin.
Oh, okay. I don't know, but okay.
Oh yeah, that's a nice.
But anyway,
that's a good
he
show.
has
I
a
watched
show.
it, and they in the hotel.
He has a show that's coming out. It's on Hulu on Tuesdays called Murder in the Building or something like that.
Right in the building.
And they asked him quickly about him working with Mickey Rooney because he had old show back in the day, and Mickey Rooney was the old time, the whole gay thing. He wasn't for that and all that, and he didn't want to. He was saying, let's keep it classy, probably not
What was
talk
the name
about
of the show again?
Murder in the Building,
Okay.
or something like that. Let's not talk about Mickey Rooney and ruin America's sweetheart. So he probably said some stuff about gay
yeah.
people back in the day. So, but that was it.
Gomez. What's her name? Gomez.
Oh,
Dark hair.
Selena.
Selena.
She
She's
used to
in
date
there.
Justin Bieber.
She's in there.
Okay, all right, Selena
and
Gomez.
Steve Martin. It's a good show. I
Okay.
watched only a few episodes.
Well, it
of
comes on Tuesday, and
Okay.
it's called Murder in the Building or something, and it's on Hulu. So
Only murders in the building.
Only Murders in the Building. That's it.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So that was it. There you
Not
go.
bad.
So
Thank
let's
you.
see how that went. That's what I was telling her. I don't have the details, but you tune in and hear what we got to say anyway. So,
Yeah, that's true.
all right, guys. So that was another Woods Report. See y'all later.